Celebrities. They're polished, poised, and perfect, right? Well, not always. With their carefully crafted personas and blockbuster roles, it's easy to forget that they're just as human as the rest of us. But then, moments like this,
You start talking about Cardi in his text, what happened?
and this, happen, and suddenly we get a raw, unfiltered glimpse behind the curtain. These are the top 10 scandalous celebrities who lost it on live TV. Some of these will have you questioning everything you thought you knew about them. Jerry Lawler pulls a Will Smith.
Television, they meet face to face. Here are Andy Kaufman and Jerry Lawler.
Let's kick things off with one of the wildest episodes in the history of Late Night with David Letterman. July 28, 1982 was a night that would go down in TV history as unforgettable. That night, David hosted professional wrestler Jerry Lawler and comedian Andy Kaufman, two men who were fresh off an infamous wrestling match earlier in the year, where Jerry had injured Andy's neck. Andy came into the studio wearing a neck brace, and the interview started off with light jokes as David and his guests seemed to be having a good time.
To want to get into the ring with this guy, he appears to be maybe twice your weight, and he's better looking.
But things took a turn when the jokes began to hit a little too close to home. Jerry quipped,
I don't want to sit out here and pretend that I'm friends with this guy because I think he's a wimp.
and didn't stop there, doubling down with another jab.
Wanted a boy and his mother wanted a girl, and they were both satisfied.
Andy kept his cool, at least until he demanded an apology from Jerry for breaking his neck.
I've gotten a lawyer and I could have sued you for what you did and I didn't, and all I want is an apology. Even you asked me last time I was on your show if I was going to have a
That's
lawsuit,
right,
and I
yeah.
could have sued you. I could have sued you for everything you're worth.
Well-
and I didn't because I'm not that kind of a guy.
Yeah. You know what?
What kind of a guy are you?
What happened next would be etched in TV history as Jerry shocked the world by doing this. After the slap, David quickly cut to a commercial, trying to restore some semblance of order to the chaotic scene. When the show returned, only Jerry was left in the seat, but of course,
My friend, I will sue you for everything you have. I will sue your You're a As far as I'm concerned, you hear me? I will get you for this. I apologize to all my friends. I'm sorry. But you're a
Andy wasn't about to let things end there. The interview left fans across the country in shock, but the craziest part, it was all staged. Turns out, Jerry and Andy are actually the best of friends. I gotta say, they really got us with that one. Cardi B takes a shot at Asia Davies.
In his text, what happened?
If you thought the Andy Kaufman incident was wild, you clearly missed the Love and Hip Hop New York reunion of 2017. In this explosive reunion episode, Cardi B and her former co-star Asia Davies had some serious beef brewing. But things took an unexpected turn when the host brought up Asia's situation with her ex, Swift, who allegedly had a fling with Cardi. Within seconds, the interview spiraled into chaos when Cardi launched a shoe at Asia. Yes, you heard that right, a shoe.
You start talking about Cardi in his text, what happened?
I mean, look at what happened next. Security had to step in and try to calm the situation, particularly focusing on Cardi.
Nah, that's what happens when you talk.
We're gonna put a little more distance between you guys so we can have this conversation.
As the interview continued, Asia explained her grievances over the whole Swift situation, but when it was Cardi's turn to speak, she stunned everyone by accusing Asia of judging her based on her past as a stripper, creating one of the most jaw-dropping moments in TV history.
You judged me before you knew me, so
I had a reason. I had a reason.
What was the reason?
I had a reason.
What was the reason?
I had a reason.
What was the reason?
I just explained the reason.
What was the reason, bitch?
I don't need to explain myself to you. And
And if you thought that was it, think again. Asia made another comment, and Cardi was ready to go for round two.
you're still going on.
Come on.
Well, you had to jump me. Both of you had to jump me.
Jump again.
Cardi B has never been one to hold back, but this moment left the audience reeling for weeks. Nicki Minaj goes for Miley Cyrus. When most people win awards, it's a time to thank their fans and loved ones, but Nicki Minaj, she's not most people. At the 2015 MTV Video Music Awards, Nicki Minaj had just accepted the award for Best Hip Hop Video when she did something no one saw coming. She started her speech with her usual hyped, playful energy, even thanking her fans.
I want to thank my beautiful fans. I love you so much. You guys are so epic, and I hope that you follow your dreams all the time.
She even gave a shout out to her pastor.
I want to thank tonight my pastor.
A normal loving speech, right? Wrong. Things took a wild turn when she suddenly called out Miley Cyrus, who had recently made some comments in an interview that didn't sit well with Nicki. Holding back nothing, the hip-hop star said this.
This that had a lot to say about me the other day in the press. Miley, what's good?
Clearly taken aback, the former Hannah Montana star tried to keep the show going, but not without dropping her own colorful language.
We're all in this industry. We all do interviews, and we all know how they manipulate. Nicki, congratulations. And just because the VMAs...
And from Nicki's expression, you could tell that this was far from over. Vince McMahon threatens Bob Costas. 2001 was a stressful year for Vince McMahon, and his interview with Bob Costas on HBO's On the Record was definitely the highlight, or rather, the lowlight of his year. After all, it became one of the most infamous moments in sports media history. It all started as a discussion about XFL, McMahon's ill-fated football league that barely lasted a season. Things began calmly, but it quickly spiraled into a heated exchange. Bob Costas, known for his probing and often critical style, did not hold back. He questioned McMahon about the XFL's dismal ratings, the questionable quality of the games, and the controversial nature of the WWE, or as it was known back then, WWF. McMahon was visibly stressed, and it didn't help that Costas kept cutting him off. At one point, Bob even said,
"It's a low-rent form of
Have you
television.
seen any of the games? Tell me what is low rent.
Not so much within the games. The pregame show, especially week one,
We don't have any
was one of the
pregame
most
shows.
mindless things I've ever seen.
We don't have a pregame show.
Week one, there was a pregame show.
And soon enough, Vince lost it, giving us one of the most unsettling interviews in sports history.
You want to let me finish here for a second, pal? Shut your mouth and let me answer the question, all right? I'll be happy to answer. You got a situation that you don't know what you're talking about.
McMahon got so angry that he nearly stood up out of his chair, pointing his finger at Costas and accusing him of being biased and unfair. The tension was palpable, with McMahon later admitting that he had to restrain himself from physically confronting Costas. Perhaps the strangest part was how this heated interview ended.
And this is such a delightful show, Bob. And thank you so much for having me on.
I appreciate your coming on.
Oh,
thank you very much.
It's a delight.
And there is more just ahead, my friend.
Surprisingly, the two have since buried the hatchet. Years later, Bob Costas reflected on the incident in the interview with Graham Bensinger, saying this.
Approve of everything he does, but some of the stuff is quite entertaining.
And didn't he call you like the next day?
Yes. The next morning, my phone rings. Bob, Vince, let's make it 2 out of 3 falls. I want a rematch. I said, great. And we did do the second about a year later, and it was very good, but much less heated on HBO. We've never had the third one, but I've crossed paths with him.
It just goes to show that even the most intense confrontations can eventually cool down, but not before making TV history. Jim Everett is not Chris. The McMahon incident was bad, but Jim's incident was way worse.
Chris Everett, good to have you on the show.
You know what? You've been calling me that for about the last 5 years.
Jim Rome, host of the ESPN2 show Talk 2, had a habit of mocking Jim Everett by calling him Chris, a nod to female tennis player Chris Evert. By calling him Chris, Rome was basically calling Everett soft, a jab that clearly got under Everett's skin. This wouldn't go on for long though, because during an interview in 1994, Jim, put an end to it in a way no one saw coming. See, during the interview, Rome repeatedly called Everett Chris to his face.
Good to have you on the show.
Good to be here, Jim. Thank you.
Check that. Chris Everett, good to have you on the show.
You know what? You've been calling me that for about the last 5 years.
About 2 years, actually, Chris.
Well,
even going as far as to say,
hey, you know what? Let me say one thing. In that game, how many sacks did I have that we came back and won?
How many sacks did you have?
How many sacks?
Well, see, but this was back in 1989.
Okay, that was about
you may have even been Jim Everett back there, but somewhere along the way, Jim, you ceased being Jim and you became Chris.
Everett was pissed, but trying to keep his composure at first, warning Rome not to do it again.
Well, let me tell you a little secret. That you know, we're sitting here right now, and if you guys want to take a station break, you can. But if you call me Chris Everett to my face one more time,
I already did it twice.
You can call one more time.
And for a few seconds, it seemed like it was over, until Rome did this.
Now I said it right here.
Right, exactly.
Well, we got no problems then.
I think that you probably won't say it again.
I bet I do.
What happened next can only be described as poetic chaos.
Okay.
Chris?
Everett snapped. He stood up, flipped over the table separating them, and physically confronted Rome, shoving him to the ground. Luckily, the studio crew quickly intervened, but the incident became an instant sensation, much like the next one on this list. Will Smith smacks Chris Rock.
Will said to me a few minutes ago, he said, at your highest moment, be careful, that's when the devil comes for you.
The 2022 Oscars deserve an award of their own for delivering some of the most shocking moments in award show history, and it's all thanks to Will Smith and Chris Rock. Chris Rock, known for his sharp wit and often provocative jokes, was on stage to present the Oscar for Best Documentary. The show was running smoothly, and Chris was taking his usual jabs at the audience.
Both nominated. Now, if she loses, he can't win!
During his routine, Rock made a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith, Will Smith's wife, referencing her shaved head.
G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it, all right?
The joke was a nod to the 1997 film G.I. Jane, where Demi Moore's character sports a shaved head. The audience burst into laughter, and even Will was seen laughing at first, but just a few seconds later, everything changed.
I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow.
The entire room was in shock, including Chris, who tried to play it off and keep the show moving.
Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Will, however, was far from done, and what he did next left everyone stunned.
Wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay?
The outburst made the atmosphere incredibly tense, especially when Will later won Best Actor for his role in King Richard. In his acceptance speech, which followed shortly after the altercation, Smith apologized to the Academy and his fellow nominees, but notably not to Rock. The incident became a global sensation, but Chris Rock probably summed it up best.
That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
Tom Cruise can't hide his excitement. They say love makes you do crazy things, but no one took that quite as literally as Mission Impossible star Tom Cruise. For him, the real impossible mission was staying calm on the Oprah Winfrey Show on May 23, 2005. During the interview, Tom was all over the place, doing this.
First of all, thanks for coming to my Legends Ball with Katie. Was that the best fun? Was that? Yes, yes. What
And then this.
happened to you?
Even Oprah had to step in, saying no one's ever seen him like this.
Something happened to you. Something happened to you.
And in the most sing-song manner ever, Tom replied.
I'm in love.
At the time, Tom was at the peak of his fame, promoting his upcoming film, War of the Worlds. But what really had everyone buzzing was his relationship with actress Katie Holmes, which had just gone public. He was so head over heels that he couldn't even pretend to be calm. Composed Tom we all know and love. At one point, he even did this when her name was mentioned.
You know, Katie once told 17 magazine, yes!
The entire episode was so offbeat that it became an instant sensation. Media outlets and comedians had a field day with countless parodies and jokes about Cruise's couch-jumping antics, and honestly, we loved every single one of them. Tom later explained that he was just simply caught up in the moment, genuinely in love, and expressing it in the most spontaneous way possible. R. Kelly, I'm fighting for my life.
I didn't do this stuff. This is not me. I'm fighting for my life.
It's no secret that R&B pop star and Grammy winner R. Kelly has long faced rumors and allegations of sexual abuse. Allegations that, up until recently, never led to a conviction. But things got even worse for him with the release of Surviving R. Kelly in early 2019. It wasn't just rumors anymore. It was now a full-blown investigation. As the pressure mounted, Kelly decided to give his first major interview since the new allegations emerged, hoping to defend himself and salvage his reputation. But things didn't go quite as planned.
Is it you agreed to do it? Why are you sitting down with us today?
I'm very tired of all of the lies. I've been hearing things and, and seeing things on the blogs and, I'm just tired.
From the start, it was clear this wasn't going to be your typical celebrity interview. Gayle King, known for her calm and composed interviewing style, asked direct and tough questions about the allegations against him. And Kelly, trying to gain public sympathy, denied all accusations, insisting that he was innocent and had never sexually abused anyone. But then things took a dramatic turn when he was asked about holding girls hostage. You just have to see for yourself what happened next.
Would I be to do that?
I didn't say you
That's
were holding.
stupid, guys.
I didn't.
Is this camera on me?
Yes, it's on.
That's stupid.
And it didn't end there. Kelly soon stood up and gave one of the most bizarre and emotional outbursts ever seen on TV.
I gave y'all 30 years of my career.
Robert.
30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me. You killing me, man. This is not about music. I'm trying to have a relationship with my kids, and I can't do it.
The situation got so intense they had to take a break to let the publicist calm him down. But things got tense again when Gayle said this.
You sound like you're playing the victim here. You sound like R. Kelly, you do.
All in all, it was a strange and unsettling interview that left the public divided. Some viewed his breakdown as a genuine cry for help from a man who felt wrongly accused, while others saw it as a manipulative tactic to gain sympathy. But believe it or not, this isn't the worst interview on this list. The Geraldo Brawl. As far as interviews go,
the reason why I do that is because I get sick and tired of hearing the sob stories from kikes. I get sick and tired of seeing Uncle Tom here.
This has to be one of the most insane ones to ever air on TV. Geraldo Rivera was known for his provocative and sensationalist style, was hosting an episode of his show focused on skinheads against radical prejudice. The episode featured a volatile mix of white supremacists, skinheads, and activists from opposing viewpoints. The intent was to explore the rise of skinhead culture in America, but the tension among the guests quickly escalated to dangerous levels. As the discussion heated up, particularly between the white supremacists and black activists on the panel, things began to spiral out of control. The tension boiled over when John Metzger, a young member of the White Aryan Resistance, called African-American civil rights activist Roy Innis an offensive racial slur, and that is when all hell broke loose.
Go ahead, Roy, go ahead. Now, let me tell you. You gotta be kidding. You gotta be kidding. You gotta be kidding. Hey, hold.
Chaos ensued as other guests on stage joined the fray, and a full-blown brawl erupted, with punches being thrown and even a chair flying across the set. Geraldo Rivera, trying to restore order, got caught in the middle of the fight and ended up with a broken nose, when a chair was hurled squarely at his face. The brawl lasted only a few minutes before security intervened, but the damage was done, literally and figuratively. Rivera's face was bloodied, and the incident quickly became a media sensation. Sometimes when Yi gets all fired up, all we can do is say what just happened. And that's exactly what happened at the 2009 MTV Awards. So here's the tea. Taylor had just won the award for Best Female Video for her song You Belong With Me. Excited and happy, as she usually was, Taylor began her speech when this happened.
Music, so thank you so much for giving me a chance to win a VMA award.
Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish, but Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
Taylor was, as you'd expect, shocked, and even Beyonce was too. But Kanye, being Kanye, stood his ground and kept on going, and well, just look at everyone's reaction.
One of the best videos of all time.
As with everything Kanye has ever done, the issue became a big deal, and led to a widespread backlash, numerous internet memes, and even prompted then President Barack Obama to call him a jackass in a private comment that was later leaked to the media. Yikes. And there you have it, 10 times celebrities completely lost it on stage. But what do you think about the list? Which moments shocked you the most? Did we miss any iconic meltdowns? Let us know in the comments section below. And while you're at it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more of the juiciest celeb gossip that's out there. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our list of the top 10 celebrity scandals that Hollywood tried to hide. The last one will definitely leave you speechless. Until next time, keep on shining.